Yeah, man. So we're building up this sanctuary. Um, the inspiration behind it, I mean, it started with the sweet potato. I had my dad had already started his garden from last year. You know what I mean? And I had been, out the state since 2020. So it's going on 3 years since before before my son was born. So it's been, this marks the 3-year mark since I've been away from home. You know what I mean? And I went through a lot out on that road. You go out on the road, you know what I mean? Like, and you independent, like, bro, like me and my family was living like nomads, but we stayed healthy, we stayed down, discovered new fruits and vegetables. And sometimes you gotta travel, to learn. The best teacher in life is traveling. So I brought back with me, not literally, but figuratively, because they have them here, those purple sweet potatoes. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, why is it so hot? It's hot in this motherfucker. So anyway, my dad, he's like, yo, what is that? You know what I mean? And like, I would be on a Zoom call, in the wilderness, like I like to call it, out in Decatur, Tennessee, not Georgia. You think Decatur, most people think Tennessee, but they got Decatur, Georgia. That's where I was at, in the 322, right next to the 336. They got buffalo out there too. But anyway, I'm out there chopping. They're like, yo, I ain't never seen purple sweet potatoes. I'm like, yeah. So I brought some back to Carolina because, I brought the culture back with me. You know what I mean? Because it is our culture. You know what I mean? However, it's like, they say the health benefits is through the roof for the purple sweet potato. I mean, it's purple. You know what I mean? That's spiritual. That's the pineal, that represents the pineal gland. That represents spirituality. So it's extremely healthy for you. You know what I mean? Like, I smoke purple leaves. Anyway, keeping it in the per family, my dad was like, he took it upon himself. I'm gonna give him credit. My dad just retired from Winston-Salem State, allegedly. Allegedly, he retired from Winston-Salem State last Friday. So you can go out, you can go to NoMoreSuitsLLC.com, and that's just an information center, and you can learn about my dad's career. So he took it upon himself. He said, man, I want to grow these things. So he YouTubed how to grow it and everything like that. And we just been building up. We've been growing since January. I gave him the first sweet potato. I went and brought it from the store, and it had a big old vein in it. I should have took a picture of it. It had a big old vein in it, and it was like super healthy. It was big, big. So he took it and put it in a jar, just started growing it, and then now he's like, going to invest in his garden. And like, my father is going through a lot right now. He just lost his mom in December. He lost his dad about 4 years ago now, and he's faced with some health challenges himself. This is what this is why I do not like going to the doctor. But the doctors is telling him he's faced with some health challenges. So this is what they told him, and I don't mind talking about this. I just don't like. I don't like talking about it to the wrong people, because people would hear that and they'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, as opposed to saying, well, let me get an herb basket and donate it to the garden, or let me use my labor and help you, you know what I mean, build the garden, so I don't like talking to people that's not going to raise the vibrational frequency. Me, I like getting to the solution. So when I actually went to the doctor with him and sat in the doctor with him, the guy told him that he's not producing white blood cells, and the reason being is because of his chemo that he had back in 93 and 2006 when he had cancer 2 times. So now the side effect of that is 30 years later, he actually has to, it's causing him to not produce the white blood cells. You know what I mean? WBCs is what they call them. So, I take that information, and they said that it can produce, like, if you don't have white blood cells, then the science behind all of it can create leukemia. Anybody that goes to a transfusion and stuff like that, and all of this stuff, they know what I'm talking about. And I heard Kaba say that when you do a blood transfusion, you actually taking the soul from one person and putting it into another person. So, like, man, just knowing all this stuff, I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, let me go talk to the herb doctors. So I talked to 2 different ones, a European and one from my tribe, right? So they both told me the same thing. They said, diet, he has to change your diet, which is a live it, because it's a lifestyle. Nobody's dead, and we are actually eating to stay alive. And then 2, mushrooms. Is that my frat? It is. Yeah. Hey, pressure washing. Okay, frat doing pressure washing. Okay, that's what's up. Good to know. So yeah, man, those are the 2 things that niggas need to, survive out here. Y'all give me 1 second. So, hey, it's K Jordan. Got him. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Uh-huh. So yeah, man, so I'm like, yo, that's it? I'm like, man, so, I'm like, so we came back home, man, because there's no place like home, for real. And so, like, what I've been doing since because I don't waste time. I don't waste time, and I'm not just one of those people that just sit around. Like, I'm on a mission. So what I've been doing with my company, No More Suits, is getting, like, if you go to the No More Suits YouTube page, you're going to see me doing all this ground research on the land, and, like, man, it's so crazy. It's lining up. Like, I'm doing ground research with the land, on the land, you know what I mean? And let me see if I can catch up with the frat. Let me see. He can't see me. I am an alpha too. I just don't boast about it all the time. Like how, when you first cross, oh, Sigma. Anywho, man, I came home and I just been, I've been studying Trefo, but it's like studying Europe. You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm studying Europe, you still gotta go to Europe to do the ground research. You know what I mean? So I've been studying home away from home. And it makes it more worthwhile, like, because you miss home, you know what I mean? And, like, so I've been studying. I went out to the fort in the Yakin. I've been studying the creeks. Bro, like 432 The Drop. Yo, I've been listening to 432 The Drop since 2020. Before I moved to Chattanooga, and he was doing Drop on Chattanooga. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the Chickamauga. And then we moved right out to the same area. You feel me? And then here recently, we just left Pallet Mountain for my mom's birthday, which is on March 22nd. Today's April 4th. My daughter's 6 months today. You know. Had a daughter, you know, it's just been a lot going on, bro. Like, a lot. So I'm saying a lot, because it's been a lot going on. So I've been studying, you know what I mean? We doing ground research, you know, in the territory, the Carolinas, and this area, and the old Great Wagon Road, and Plank Road, and, you know, all of this stuff. You know, I did interviews on it, talking about it. It's, you know. So we've been really doing that work, man. We've been talking to the people. We in the process of it. So I came home and I'm like, I might as well get this study session out now, because I'm like, when I was in Kentucky. Yeah, I stayed in Kentucky for a while. When I was in Kentucky, I was like, man, because I had came here for like a day and I had seen the Plank Road plaque, and I'm like, bro, it's gonna take me like 3-4 weeks, if not months, to do this ground research on this area. So yeah, man, you know, we lost everything out of our crib twice in a row, which is ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's another story for another time. So we just like, man, I literally was just through. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm like, man, mercy, just have mercy on us. And so I've been going through a lot coming back here. It's just, you know, because you've been away for 2-3 years. I grew up here my whole life, but when you leave for 2-3 years, you know what I mean, and the HINC, you know what I mean, you come home, you're not going to be that no more. So it's a lot of adaptation, you know what I mean, because you still like in HINC mode, but then you come back and there's other people, like, it's, you know, so it's been crazy. I've been just having to adapt to the new climate. But long story short, I did that. You know, I've been doing ground research for the company and all that great stuff. And we got a lot, you know, go check it out, and we're going to get a lot more. But, you know, my father's health is everything. So what I'm learning is that, like, I can't tell him. I'm like, I can't tell you, like, yo, you got to change your diet and you got to do this. You know what I mean? It's like somebody that smokes cigarettes. You can't just go to somebody smoking a Newport on the side of the street and be like, man, you can't be doing it. They're going to be like, motherfucker, get out my, you know, come on. You know what I mean? Like, just being realistic. So what I'm learning is you have to, and when I was practicing, when I was in my faith, I always would say, like, I don't want to show people or tell people that they got to, you know, quote unquote, give their life to God. I'm like, I'm going to show you what God do in my life. You feel me? By leading by example or demonstrating. You know what I mean? So now I'm demonstrating. So, you know, I can show y'all the yard. The yard in. You know what I mean? I'm going to show you the yard. This is all a Naga community. You know what I mean? That's Bill Hayes from Winston State. That's his house right there. So we in this is Naga. This is the Negus. You see the Negus? See? You feel me? I probably know the cons, man. We out here. This is all, you know, ancient territory. And that's what I've been doing my ground research on. I've been saying that, is this the ancient Jerusalem? That was my first theory. I'm like, is this ancient Jerusalem? You know what I mean? And now the Prester, you know what I mean? 432 The Drop literally confirmed it. You know what I mean? He been doing the Prester John drop since 2016. It's 2023, and he just touched on Pallet Mountain. right? You know what I'm saying? Like a week after I go up there. Come on, bro. Come on, man. If the Most High ain't working, bro, he been doing the Prester drop. It's literally 119 videos on the Prester. And the 119 videos is first time doing a drop on the Carolinas. Not on the Carolinas, because he's been mentioning Carolina, but Pilot Mountain specifically. I'm like, man, that joint crazy, bro. That joint crazy, man. So, yeah, man, I'm going to show y'all what we've been working on in the yard. So I'm like, man, we just going to get the foods of the earth, you know. And again, it just started with me coming back and bringing that purple sweet potato back from the head tops. So I'm going to show you. Let me show you the way to go. I came out this morning and Aquarius was on the rise, and it was beautiful. I seen Scorpio for the first time in almost a year. Scorpio was rising, sitting above where the sun's at now. You see the sun? I don't know if you see it. Yeah, the sun. Scorpio's where the sun was at. Now the sun is in Pisces, so Pisces is up there now. That was like 5 a.m. So we got this this is dirt. Got all this dirt. And here's where we're gonna grow the sweet potatoes. So shout out to Wayne. You're making Wayne. You know? What you making, Wayne? And here go all of it's a box for each sign of the zodiac. I went through it multiple times, but here's where we're gonna grow that. The one sweet potato is gonna have a whole bed. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a whole bed of sweet potatoes out there. You know what I mean? And I did this morning. You know what I mean? Dug it up. It had grass in there this morning. Now I got all the grass and it's over there. And then I put the manure in there and then the top soil. So we're gonna do the rest. My father's getting some mulch. So I'm gonna get the mulch and put it out here in between that clay so the roots can fall in between that wood and the clay, because they told me it come from oak wood, the mulch. So it's gonna fall into that oak wood chip and then into that clay, them roots. And then, you know, so we got like squash and beans, we got onions, we got peppers, we have tomatoes, we have okra, we have cucumbers, we have carrots. So this is how you heal, bro. Like, this is healing for my father. And then, you know, we putting all this love energy, and they all gonna have their own box that represent the zodiac. So that's what's gonna heal him. The doctor not gonna tell him to go out here and do this. Only the Most High can tell you to do that. So eventually we're gonna grow some mushrooms out here, but you know, just not today. You know, we're gonna get mushroom. We're gonna invest in mushroom compost. So this is how it look underneath the soil. But I think I'm gonna wait for this until the mulch is getting here Friday. But I'm gonna be out of town. So yeah, this is what I did, man. It's been a sacrifice, you know, bro. Let me tell you, it's been a sacrifice. It's you know, being here with my father and my kids. It's a lot on my woman. It's just a lot, bro. But you know, like I was telling my Empress Imani this morning, I was like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to get this time back, you know. And like I literally was with my father when he found out that his mom transitioned, and I was with him when he retired. And you know, I just been with him along this journey, and so I'm just here for his healing. This is all for healing, and then I can get back to my life. You know, my life gonna be lit. You know, this is just like, I don't want to call it a prison sentence, but it's just like. And then my son and my daughter's, you know, she's still a baby, but my son and my father is building an incredible bond. You know what I mean? He calls him Papa. So, you know, like, you got to look in the love in all of this, man. Like, you know, I got to sacrifice my ego. You know what I mean? Because if it was my ego, I'd be living in Nashville in a Sky Rise. You know what I mean? But I'm actually going to Nashville this weekend. So it's just like, man, you gotta appreciate this. You know, I know what it's like to lose a parent. Unfortunately. So, dang, I can't close that gate. Alright, that's gonna have to do for now. So yeah, I'm about to feed my tribe, my family. It's just what I do, man. It's life, and so this is just what I've been going through. My slogan is, if you back us in the corner, we gonna run the block. And we're gonna grow some vegetables. Oh, watermelon, we're growing watermelon too this year. So we got another box up here too. We're gonna put the watermelon. So that's the harvest. So yeah, man, you know, this is our devotion to all of these zodiacs that make us up. You know what I mean? Our cosmic makeup. So I'm devoted to each one. That's all the tribes. You know what I mean? All of you all were born in one of these constellation boxes. You know what I mean? So you either a Virgo, like the moon is in Virgo. So I'm moving with the moon. I meant to say that, like I'm pacing myself with the moon. So how the moon is in Virgo, we've caught up all the way to Virgo as far as digging the grass out. And then once it gets back to Amen, that's going to be our new year. That's the new year. And that's going to be around 420, that new moon in Amen. So I'm going to bonfire it out here. And then we're going to do our first vegetation plant. Because we got the vegetation on the inside. So the inaugural ceremony is going to be when that sun goes into Amen. See? And then just wait for the harvest. All right, man, I'm off of here. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Shalom.